Welcome to today's video. My name is Gabby, and today we are going to be letting a prompt wheel choose my August TBR. So I'm going to be choosing 5 books to hopefully pick off of my physical TBR pictured behind me here. I have a total of 186 unread books. Now, I need to preface that with the fact that I have not bought every single one of these books myself. A lot of them I have picked up at library sales or been given to me, or I've been given gift cards for, Christmas, birthdays, all that stuff, but it's becoming a problem. I actually just moved out of my college apartment and back into my parents' house. I was pretty impressed with myself that I was able to fit every single book either on this TBR cart or on this bookshelf here. I do have a major unhaul to do sometime probably this week that I will be making a video for, and I'll be going through all my shelves as well then. But the short version is that most of my highly anticipated reads I've left on the shelf here, on the cart here, so that they're easily accessible. So I have my trusty iPad here with me today to spin the wheel of a few prompts. My main goal this year is to get through as many physical books as I can and really prioritize those. But I do have a very busy month. This month I have like 2 concerts. It's my nephew's due date. I have a lot of construction to do in my house. So we're just gonna choose 5, even though I've been averaging pretty high in terms of amount of books that I read a month. I'm also starting a new job, so it's just pretty hectic. Let's get started. I'm gonna pull my little card out here so that we can have some to choose from. Just real quick, this is mostly romance, this is mostly fantasy, and then we have some like miscellaneous at the bottom that's out of frame. We're gonna spin the wheel on my iPad and see what we get. Okay, what does that say? Number in the title. Okay. Okay, we do have the 7-year slip. 7. I owe you 1. That's a number, obviously, duh. Okay, I think these are gonna be our 2 options, 7-year slip and I owe you 1. I think that I'm gonna choose the 7-year slip by Ashley Poston, because honestly, this has been very highly anticipated. My sister has been raving about it forever. Everyone raves about it all the time. And I honestly have been putting it off for so long because I didn't really love her other 2 books, but I'm still very intrigued by this one. So I think this is going to be the first book on our August TBR. For some reason, it's like making all these copies. So we're just going to open up this one and we're going to spin again for our second book of our August TBR. A person on the cover. Okay, that can be a fun one. I think this kind of gives us a lot of options. So I'm definitely going to need a minute to just kind of go through. Are we counting real people, or are we also like counting like cartoony covers? You know what I mean? That's kind of hard. This gives us a lot of choices. I'm pretty sure every single one of these books has a person on the cover, to be so honest, which makes it very, very difficult because it's almost kind of just a free choice here. So I think what I'm going to do is choose something I just really want to read that I'm pretty sure has a person on the cover, but it's on the top shelf, so I have to check. Okay, this is a good one because I think that there's like a person. I can't tell if it's a real person or not, but it definitely looks more real than like a cartoon. So what we have is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I actually have the signed edition. Oh my gosh. I've heard absolutely nothing but amazing things about this book. I'm really looking forward to it. I love her writing, and I think it's a really fun book to read in the summer, I think. Personally, I'm hoping, okay? I'm hoping. So the second book that we have is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Okay, we're gonna spin for our third book of the August TBR. Let's see what we get. Under 300 pages. Okay, that's kind of a tough one. Okay, I think I definitely kind of want to focus on romance because it's the last month of summer. I kind of tend to gravitate more towards fantasy in the winter and fall, whereas romance is definitely more spring summer for me. So what looks kind of short enough? Maybe this one? Nope. Okay, maybe this one? No. I think this one maybe. Okay. 286 pages, so this could be a contender, and this is good because I definitely haven't been keeping up with this series. That's definitely a contender. What about this one maybe? No, that's way over. Okay, so we do have quite a few options because I do have some fiction books that are pretty short. I think what we're going to go with is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I've been so intrigued about this book, and it's only 164 pages. So it's nice to kind of have something shorter that is kind of more low pressure, if that makes sense. And I also am obsessed with this cover. It's just so pretty. So I think this is going to be the third book on our August TBR. Okay, so now we are going to spin for our fourth book on the August TBR. Continue a series. Okay, that's a fun one. There's kind of a lot of wiggle room in there. And I think I am going to try to pick a romance series. Again, just because I feel like that's the most fun in summer. I think our most obvious choice here is going to be Wild Side by Elsie Silver. Ever since I read Wild Love, I've just been like crazily anticipating reading the next one. I really loved the first one. It was like giving me all the butterflies, all the giggles, you know. That's so pretty. I literally love this book. So I think this is what I'm gonna choose. Even though I haven't really been feeling a super smutty, crazy romance, I feel like the last one, the smut was tolerable enough with enough story plot at the same time that I think this will do well as a sort of escape from all the busyness and also something still entertaining enough to keep my attention in the warm weather. You know, all the vibes are there. So Wild Side by Elsie Silver. Okay, I actually think I'm gonna choose two more because I like to have options, and yeah, I feel like 6 is a pretty good doable number to really start limiting my physical TBR down. So let's spin for the fifth book on my August TBR. What are we gonna get? 5-star prediction. Ooh, that's a really fun one. I know what I'm gonna choose. I already know what I'm gonna choose. Okay, I think this is a really good choice. For 5-star prediction, I am choosing Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. This is the only book of hers that I have not read. I'm beyond excited. Everyone went crazy over it last summer, and I was like, I need to save that for next summer. So this is the perfect opportunity and excuse to read this. I'm very excited. Everyone has loved this. I hope I'm gonna love it too because I've loved all of her other books. This is definitely a 5-star prediction. I'm so excited for this. Okay, the last book for my August TBR. We're gonna spin. And let's see what we get. I'm a little nervous. Fantasy. Okay. I feel like this prompt actually works well because we have like, we're kind of romance heavy a little bit. So mixing in one fantasy is not the end of the world to me. You know what I mean? What do I want to choose though? Okay, for the fantasy prompt, what I've decided to pick up is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. I am really excited for this. I feel like I've heard a lot of people just talk so highly about this book, even people that aren't necessarily that into fantasy. and it's been so intriguing to me. I mean, this cover is gorgeous. Like, it's so beautiful, and I've been anticipating this pretty highly. So I feel like this could be a good one to read in the summer as well. It's not super long. Is starting a whole new series for me necessarily ideal? Not really. But we persevere. I don't know what to say about that. This is going to be the 6th and final book that I'm putting on my August TBR. I'm feeling pretty happy about this stack. I feel like we have a nice range to choose from, which hopefully will help me get through them all, and I'm not like feeling bored or stuck necessarily. So the first book that we have is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. So this is a romance book in which our main character inherits an apartment from her aunt, who is recently deceased, and she meets and falls in love with this man, but he is 7 years in the past. To the best of my understanding, they can't really be together because he exists in the past, but they've fallen in love, and now she's feeling like she may be too late for him. I mean, rightfully so, but I don't really know anything about how it ends, but I've heard that it's a very beautiful book, so I'm very excited for this one. The next book that I'm going to be reading this month is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I am a huge TJR fan. I literally love her. I love her writing style, the stories that she tells. I believe that this is mainly a fiction novel, but there's romance incorporated. I believe it's LGBTQ, and this is about Joan Goodwin. She happens to be among NASA's first woman scientists, and she gets the opportunity to go to space, and you follow her along through space training and what it's like working for NASA. It says she ends up finding love, and then it says it all changes in an instant, fast-paced, thrilling, and emotional. It's her best yet, telling a passionate and soaring story about the transformative power of love, this time among the stars. That sounds so good to me. As someone who grew up wanting to be an astronaut, I'm really excited for this one. I can't wait. Next we have I Who Have Never Known Men, which is a short fiction story. And it says, deep underground, 39 women live imprisoned in a cage. Watched over by guards, the women have no memory of how they got there, no notion of time, and only a vague recollection of their lives before. As the burn of electric light merges day into night, numberless years pass, a young girl, the 40th prisoner, sits alone and outcast in a corner. Soon she will show herself to be the key to the others' escape and survival in a strange world that awaits them above ground. You know what? I wish I had never known men. I think my life would be a lot better for it. So this sounds so good, so just intriguing. I'm really excited to pick this one up. I've also been loving some like low-key horror, or like not really horror, but unsettling reads lately. So I think this will definitely like scratch that itch. It's also translated fiction, which is really nice. I always love to incorporate that into the books that I read. So I'm so excited to hear how that all goes down. Next we have Wild Side by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Rose Hill series. These are all billionaire single dad romances. I feel like I don't really need to say more about that. I'm so excited. I love these covers, and I believe the next one actually comes out in September, the 4th one. So, you know, gotta get that checked off the list in preparation. I'm very excited for that one. Next we have Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I feel like her books aren't so much romance heavy. They're more like woman's fiction. I think they're very relatable and emotional, and they often have a lot of depth to them. So I've been just dying to pick this one up. Allie Morse is a professional organizer whose own life is a mess. Her mom died 2 years ago, then her husband left, and she hasn't worn pants with a zipper in longer than she cares to remember. No one is more surprised than Allie when the first time she takes off her wedding ring and puts on pants with hardware. She meets someone, or rather, her dog claims a man for her by peeing on him. Ethan smiles at Allie like her pants are just right, like he likes what he sees. He looks at her like she's a younger, braver version of herself. The last thing newly single mom Allie needs is to make her life messier, but there's no harm in a little summer romance, is there? I just love, not even necessarily her writing style, but the way she tells a story, the way she can add so much depth and emotion and really make the characters feel real a lot of time, makes me just so excited to pick this one up. The final pick that we have for our August TBR is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. This is a series. I believe there are 4 books so far, and it's fantasy. I'm not sure, honestly, if it's romantasy. I mean, I'm not opposed, but It says, a warrior princess trained in isolation, Lara is driven by two certainties. The first is that King Aaron of the Bridge Kingdom is her enemy, and the second is that she'll be the one to bring him to his knees. The only road through a storm-ravaged world, the Bridge Kingdom to Ithacana, enriches itself and deprives its rivals, including Lara's homeland. So when she's sent there as a bride under the guise of peace, Lara is prepared to do whatever it takes to fracture its impenetrable defenses and the defenses of its king. Yet as she infiltrates her new home and gains a deeper understanding of the war to possess the bridge, Lara begins to question whether she's the hero or the villain. Gasp. As her feelings for her husband transformed from frosty hostility to fierce passion, Lara must choose which kingdom she'll save and which she'll destroy. Oh my god, that sounds so fire. So it does sound like there's a little bit of a romance going on, but not too romance heavy, which I can appreciate. I feel like this is just such a great stack for the month of August. I'm really happy with everything that I was able to choose, and I can't wait to get through them all. If you've read any and there's one that particularly stood out to you, whether you liked it or disliked it, I would love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments. If you got this far, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more book vlogs, book content, life content, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!